That song was absolutely gorgeous. It was just transfixing me with its sound. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Molly and in this video I'm going to be listening to the album Shed by Title Fight. Now Title Fight is a band that has been suggested a handful of times here on the channel. I don't know anything about them. I think they're a rock band, and Shed is their debut album that they released in 2011. And this record is pretty short too. It's only 27 minutes long, and yeah, I'm just really curious to check it out and see what I'm going to think of Title Fight. Alright, getting Shed started is track 1, which is called Coxton Yard. Right off the bat, there's a lot of energy to this album. I'm loving the growliness to his vocals too. There's kind of an unpolished quality that they have to their sound that really suits the tone of this song. Well, that was track 1, Coxton Yard, a short little song, just a minute and a half long, but certainly a punchy way to get this album started. A lot of energy, kind of a punk vibe to the sound of that one too. And like I mentioned, I loved his vocals, just kind of a raspiness to them. And the drums too on that one were really standing out to me. I liked how they had this sort of sharp quality to their tone. They were really punchy. But moving on to the second song is the title track, Shed. There's so much intensity to his vocal delivery. I'm loving how the instrumentals have this kind of drawn out, almost stretched out quality to their sound. And then it's kind of interjected with all of this punchiness at times, and then they'll kind of stretch it out again. That was track 2, Shed. I originally thought that the title of this album was talking about shed as in the structure, like the building, and now I'm realizing that it's talking about the verb shed, like he was saying shed your skin. But that song had a great sound to it. Like I said, they were contrasting a lot of different elements. I loved how intense the vocals were, and yet there was something really smooth about that song too. And again, just a really passionate delivery, kind of an emo punk rock vibe going on, that's for sure. But continuing on with track 3 is Flood of 72. The drums right there, man, they were so rapid, that delivery. The song was so speedy, and then here in the chorus it kind of slowed down a little bit. And then there was just the lyric there, resurface. It is kind of like you're diving in and then you're coming up for air. That was track 3, Flood of 72. I loved the sort of muffled guitar distortion there at the beginning and the end of that track. Very Deftones-esque in a way. It just had that kind of dark, fuzzy feel to it. And the drums on that track were bringing so much punchiness, again, just being delivered in such a rapid way. I love how they're contrasting all of that energy, though, with this sort of languid, drawn-out quality to their sound at times. And they're kind of taking it back and forth between those two aspects. All right, up next is track 4 called Society. I love that guitar tone in the background, that kind of warbling sound that it has. That was track 4, Society. I loved how it ended there with that kind of squeaky sound coming from the guitar. A lot of different instrumental techniques that they're using. They're creating a lot of variety with the sound on this album. And at times the vocalist reminds me a little bit of the band Brand New. There's kind of this rock element to their music, and then they're fusing it, especially with the way they're delivering the vocals. It's got this punk edge to it as well, with all of that emotion and energy they're bringing forth. But continuing on with track 5 is You Can't Say Kingston Doesn't Love You. Yeah, there's this sort of choppy, more staccato quality to their sound, and then they'll just smooth it all out all of a sudden. That was track 5, You Can't Say Kingston Doesn't Love You. Right at the beginning there, that flash of bass that really came through, I loved it. It had such a rich tone to its sound. And again, so much energy, a lot of punchiness with that track, just with his vocal delivery and everything. Even though they're a more minimal band in terms of the instruments and everything that they're using, they're doing all of these different techniques that's adding so much variety to their sound. Up next is track 6 called Crescent-Shaped Depression. I have goosebumps all of a sudden. The tone of that guitar was fascinating at the beginning. Yeah, that guitar has such an incredible clarity to its tone. It's just piercing through this song. That was track 6, Crescent-Shaped Depression. How that song would kind of break down and be really quiet and very introspective, and then all of a sudden they would build it up and that energy would come rushing back. I loved the contrast, how they were taking it back and forth. Just such an amazing clarity to the tone of that one, a richness to its sound, and I loved the guitar too. So much variety with that and just bringing some really unique tones to that track. Up next is track 7 called Safe in Your Skin. So much distortion. Again, I have goosebumps all over. I just love the tone of this song. It's like I'm diving underwater or something. Alright, that was a fantastic transition into the next song, but that was track 7, Safe in Your Skin. That song was absolutely gorgeous. It was just transfixing me with its sound. Very immersive. It was almost like I was in a dream or something, or like I mentioned, like you dove into a pool of water. Just such a clarity to its tone. And something very calming and relaxing about that song, and yet kind of mournful too in a way. There was sort of a sadness to the sound of that one. But continuing on with track 8 is Where Am I? bass and then how the song kind of inflected up like that a little bit. Just so much fun. I love how he was saying and on and on and on, and while he's saying that, it was kind of like the song increased its tempo. It's like it was matching up with what he was saying lyrically in terms of its momentum. That was track 8, Where Am I? On that one, I kept picking up on some very subtle background vocals. I don't know if there's a second vocalist on that one or not. It kind of sounded like it very faintly at times. And that one was so much fun to listen to, just again with how they're changing it up so much. At certain points, it'll be more short and sharp and choppy in a way, and then it'll just smooth out, and it's so almost velvety with its sound. But I'm going to continue on with track 9 called Your Screen Door. Yeah, that bass again. Every now and again when I hear that coming through, I just love it. It brings a smile to my face. Oh man, this song just did a 180 on me. That was track 9, Your Screen Door. The first half of that song was really highlighting this band's more punchy side, that sharper sound I was talking about. The drums especially just had so much energy to their delivery. And then they completely switched it up on me there in the second half. That bass really shone through and brought almost a warmth to that song. I just wasn't expecting that change up at all, but I absolutely loved it. Up next is track 10 called 27. I love how they're pausing this song at certain times. It's giving it this really sharp punchiness. That guitar tone again, that warble that it does, I just love it. That brings you back to life. That was track 10, 27. I loved the punchiness of that one. Definitely a lot of energy to the delivery and just how they were kind of playing up with the rhythm a bit and the stopping and the starting of that track. It kind of had this sharpness to it. It was just so entertaining. You didn't really know what to expect. And at times they would kind of smooth it out a little bit. That bass would shine through and then that punchiness would come right back. Just great dynamics with that one. Up next is track 11 called Stab. Man, so much speediness, especially to these drums. It's like they just get this momentum going and it won't stop. Yeah, it's like these songs will just all of a sudden take a dive into the deep end and they just take a plunge into this more slowed down, really rich portion of the track. Take a stab at me. That was track 11, Stab. The drums were going crazy on that one. Definitely my favorite part of that song. I like how he was saying, take a stab at me, and it was almost like the percussion was just coming at you like a knife. Just so much sharpness and quickness to its delivery. But I'm going to move on to the final song on Shed, which is track 12 called GMT Greenwich Meantime. Man, that squeakiness from the guitar. It's such a sharp, kind of abrasive tone. That bass, man, whoever their bassist is, I absolutely love the tone that they achieve on this whole album. Every time it shines through, it's just absolutely fantastic. A little tone just there from the guitar I heard in the background kind of added a bit of brightness to this song for a second. Well, that was track 12, GMT Greenwich Meantime. That one was amazing with how they were bringing so much energy to its delivery. There was so much passion to it, and yet it was really drawn out and a little bit more slowed down compared to a lot of the other tracks on this album. It had this amazing sort of dissipated, fuzzy quality with all of that distortion that they were using. It was kind of like the song was being stretched out, and yet with the percussion and the vocal delivery, there was still all of this amazing energy to it. Well, that is going to conclude my reaction to Shed, the debut studio album from the band Title Fight. Going into this album, I really had no idea what I was in for. I've never heard anything from Title Fight before, and I was very pleasantly surprised with this record. So much variety with the instrumentals. Their ability to fuse those more pulled-in, restrained, tender moments with so much punchiness and more of that rock aggression I thought was extremely well done. Track 6, Crescent-Shaped Depression, was definitely a standout. I loved that really unique guitar tone on that one. Track 10, 27, was also a standout. A lot of punchiness with that one, and his vocal delivery just had so much passion to it. And then track 7, Safe in Your Skin, was absolutely a standout as well. That song was so beautiful. It kind of had this mournfulness to it. But from beginning to end, this album I thought was absolutely fantastic. I'm so glad that I have finally given this one a listen. Be sure to let me know in the comments if you want me to do any more of Title Fight's albums. I'd love to hear more from them. And yeah, as usual, thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next video.